Scorpio, this is a month where you are releasing the gypsy spirit in your soul. After quarantine, after lockdown, after all that confinement, there is just this huge need to have a bigger level of freedom. I want to move. I want to travel. I want to go. I want to be on the other side of the world. I want to be living that life that just brings me this huge freedom. I get it now. I get where I'm supposed to be going. I get what's going to bring peace and calm in my soul this month. And why is all of that happening, my love? Well, let's do what we always do. We're going to shuffle the cards and wait on all the right ones to come out for you. And in the meantime, let's talk about this energy. So where is this gypsy soul, the wandering spirit, full of wanderlust coming from? Well, we've the full moon this month on May 7th in Scorpio. And it's that real feeling of, I just don't want to be confined. I definitely don't want to be stuck here anymore. There's a wistful feeling. I want to move. I want to travel. I have always imagined that I want to live by that lake, by that ocean, in that mountain. I really need to maybe think about how I'm going to get there, and maybe financially how I'm going to put together some sort of plan to maybe make that happen in my future, because it could be my new destiny, my new calling now, to get that type of money together, where I'm not feeling so far away from this dream that I have, the dream that's going to give me this freedom and this peace in myself. So that's what the full moon is doing. It's bringing back all these dreams, desires, these wishes. I had put aside that desire to do something really expansive and brilliant in my life. I'd put that aside. It's time to wake that up again. And this is the month where it could begin with a little bit of frustration, to be fair, Scorpio, where you could look around at your work, your relationships, your family, and everything that's going on after quarantine and the whole thing. You could be looking around and saying, they're driving me nuts. It's all driving me nuts. I need an escape plan. I need to get out of here. I need to dive deep and just go, And this, I think, sets some new plan into motion. And I wouldn't be surprised if you have, look at that, to bring back hope for your future. And we'll talk about this. But I wouldn't be surprised if you have some great big idea, some big expansive idea that comes into your mind again, and you're really willing to entertain it this month. Now, I did say to you just a moment ago about money, about getting a plan together to fulfill some long treasured dream. And this could be where it's all kicking off. We've a lot of energy slowly through the month moving into Gemini, into your 8th house. We've the new moon that's going to be there on, what date is it? May 22nd. The north node of destiny, where our destiny is calling us towards, is moving into Gemini, into your 8th house. We have the sun moving in there later in the month. Mercury will be moving in there, and Venus is going to be retrograding in there. So we have a few things to talk about, but the strongest thing is this, about sitting down and realizing that the money that you have, or the financial plan that you have, now needs to be a bit broader. It needs to cover where you're going in your future. It needs to pencil in or include this vision that you have, this thing that you've always been aiming for. And there is a way to do it. And I do feel around the time of the full moon, in and around May 7th or before, there's this thing where you might be downloading like a lot of books or movies, or watching a lot of talks on the internet, or doing online courses about how do I plan for my future financially. I have a target. I want to live here. I want to own a home here by the sea or by the lake. I want to do something that brings abundance to my life, that takes me out of this containment that's driving me nuts. I have this vision. How do I put a financial plan together to make that happen? So that's what I'm saying. You could be interested in financial gurus, these people who have written books, give TED Talks, or whatever it is, how to make that happen. And it's really worth considering, because it seems for many of you This is part of your new destiny, to realize just how well you're doing at the moment, handling the money that you're handling. And that's for sure. Most Scorpios are usually very, very good at handling their money. They get their salary, they get their wages. You're very, very good usually at handling that. You can pay all the bills. I mean, it would be really normal to hand the purse strings over to a Scorpio and say, look, you pay the bills, you buy all the groceries, you do this, and it will run like clockwork. So many Scorpios I know that can make a small bit of money go a long, long way. It's a gift that you have. But now something is changing. You're saying this thing of just being able to pay the bills, just being able to meet my deadlines, just being able to cover the mortgage, just working within a certain budget. I can do it. I'm brilliant at it. It's not enough. I need bigger game. I need to start, as I said, thinking about my dreams, my future, my pensions, my long-range money. I need to start realizing that as good as I am with money, maybe I need to start looking for other resources. I need to start maybe looking for investors to come in on a new business or a project that I want to do. I need to maybe get somebody else in my life. If you're single, some of you might be thinking, I can do this on my own, but wouldn't it be great if I had somebody who had lots of cash? Now, I'm not going to judge that, but this is something some Scorpios could be saying. You know, I'm doing all right single, but I really should meet and marry a wealthy somebody to take care of me for a change. So there's a feeling of that. You know, it's like, I don't want to be counting the pennies anymore. I don't want to be just surviving anymore. I want to be getting a plan together, a financial plan together that makes me thrive, that takes the up and the down out of it, that takes the roller coaster feeling out of it, that takes this thing, you know, that I'm only ever to live within this kind of model. I can't go any further beyond this. I can't break beyond my current salary. I can't break beyond the work that I do. I can't break beyond something. There's just this moment of saying, why not? Why can't I? Who's stopping me? Who is stopping me? And maybe it's my destiny to realize that I can go above and beyond and go out of maybe even some fear around money. We've the South Node moving into Sagittarius. Some fear around when you spend freely, perhaps, then there's a panic. You know, there could be panic over money. If I don't keep it all under control, then it just all falls apart. Every time I try to be free and spend and enjoy myself, then the panic sets in. Then I find myself losing. Again, this could be something huge that you're really transforming. This is another big month, Scorpio. We're going through so many huge changes. And for you, it's long-range financial changes and getting out of that small-time thinking or stuck in a certain model, agreeing that this is the best I can do. And saying, when did I agree to this shit? When did I agree that I had a limit? When did I agree that I wasn't able to loosen the purse strings and just play with my money a bit better? When did that happen? When did I get so much fear around that? I need to have more fun in my life with my money. Now, this is not about just taking a wad of money and just throwing it to the wind and saying, I am free, I am free. Freedom requires a level of planning, and you're excellent at that. Freedom requires a huge level of control. It requires a bit of a mastermind kind of vibe going on here. All things that you're very, very, very well and truly capable of, Scorpio. So it's like, maybe I can get myself out of debt. Maybe I can make my life easier financially. And maybe I can play with my money a bit more. So if that is a huge energy that's going on for you, and that is something that's going to be playing out over a while. I do sense with Mars beginning in the 4th house, for some of you it could begin very close to home, getting your budget really organized. It's like measuring everything. I heard a phrase recently, I can't remember where, somewhere I was watching something on the internet, it was very, very good. And there was a wonderful girl and she was young, she'd made a lot of money. And she said her success was this phrase, if it isn't measured, then it isn't mastered. I think that's what she said. If it isn't measured, then it isn't managed. That's what she said. And I think that's what you're doing. You're beginning at home, looking at your home budget. Maybe for those of you who live with a partner, you might be looking at their finances too and saying, let's sit down and let's measure what we spend. Let's manage the household bills. Let's get it together and see what we're actually spending, our ins and our outs, what we're paying off on loans, what we're paying for cars and things. Let's have a look at this. So it's like it begins in privacy at home. And then some of you could start moving on and saying, but you have a talent, I have a talent. Couldn't we maybe make more of this talent? Couldn't we make more of our budget? Some of you even considering budgeting in a way that affords new education for some of your children, for those of you with children. It's like, if we manage this, we can pay our bills and maybe contribute to their college fund. So there's lots of things. It's like it begins at home, the exploration of your finances, the looking at great detail at what's going on. Maybe for those of you with children, it expands into their future then first. Yeah, we can actually get it together and have a college fund for them. And then afterwards you're saying, but then why not me? I also need my freedom. I also need this money to play. So it starts to expand and build beyond after that. So it's very, very nice. I like that. Just looking down at the chart here, there is that great feeling also around the time of the full moon, May 7th, where some of you could be very concerned or missing people that might live very far away from you. After all the quarantine and everything, there's a feeling of, when the gates are up, when we're free finally, the first thing I want to do is book a flight or a train or a weekend or something to see these people. I miss them terribly. So there's a feeling of, pining after loved ones and being certain, as I said, when I get the green light, I'm definitely going to see them and spend more time with them. But spirituality is also a big thing going on for you. Your beliefs, a lot of that might change this month too. Getting stronger in your faith, stronger in your beliefs, or even returning to a faith for some of you to get some strength. That could be happening. Now, we've all the cards that we need, Scorpio. I'm just seeing, is there anything I've missed here? I did say deep faith and a deep belief can help you positively transform. Some of you are studying, teaching something either to do with the occult or with money, or something that needs a lot of deep focus, something that needs your full attention, and you have to tune everything out just to absolutely pay attention. So you're giving a lot of energy to that. I do see, for those of you in relationships, that there could be an issue over work. A discussion between you and your partner that could be going on. It could get quite tense, but the vibe here is, do your very best not to be too, let's say, expecting too much from your partner right now and demanding too much from them. Just have a talk, discuss things, open it up and see where you can go from there. I see for some of you it's a great opportunity to enter into a new contract in the first half of the month with work, discuss a new deal. In fact, there's a thing here that you are this month, and especially in the first half, you're really excelling in dealing with people. If there's a negotiation on the table, if something needs to be kind of, let's have a talk, let's meet over dinner, maybe we can't do that at the moment, but let's negotiate something. You've got strong diplomatic powers of persuasion going on there. You've done all your research, you've thought deeply about it, and you can really speak anything into existence here. You're being a good sport also within work that you're doing. You're kind of letting a lot of things go. You're kind of saying, look, let's just keep it easy. Let's keep it moving. Let's not fight. Let's not argue. Let's keep some level of control going on here. But the other thing that seems, again, we haven't even gone down to the cards. The other thing that seems to be happening with the work that you're doing is, it's like you've got this eagle eye this month, Scorpio. Now, you always have the eagle eye, but this month, something is catching your attention. I get the feeling from many of you that you might see something going on in the workspace that you never saw before, something that could be revealed, something that's shown to you, something that you say, this has to be stopped, or this can't continue anymore. Excuse me. It could even be a financial secret. Some of you maybe even might find out that something a bit shady or weird is going on. Say if you're a manager in the workspace, you might see that certain things are going missing in the office, but you spot it. And the ability that you have to kind of get on with people this month and to talk to them and discuss, people are on your side. They're more willing to share very secret things. They might come to you and say, listen, I didn't want to come to you about this before, but did you know that so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so is doing this? And they really shouldn't be doing that. So there's a feeling of you're in a good space to hear something going on. And certainly I see in work, there could be a thing, if some of you are in charge of accounts in general, and so it's not just about your personal accounts, it's also about your work accounts, you could spot where something is being wasted. There's a drain. You're looking at something and saying, but you're wasting that. That's money wasted on something. That's time and effort and energy wasted on something. This is a waste of my time and my resources. That's a waste of their skills and talents. So you spot where something is very, very wasteful and you deal with that. Yeah, money being drained. Thankfully, you spot that. Both at home in your personal finances, you might see that too. When you look at it, at all your expenses, you might say, that's an absolute waste. I need to cancel that subscription. I need to cancel this. I need to cancel that. I need to get a better deal on that. I need to handle this all a little bit better. But you're also making new connections this month, that these people seem to give you the word on the street. That's the way I kind of feel it. It's like they've got the word on the street and you're all ears and sharp eagle eyes. You're like, no, come on, tell me more. And you might hear of a new opportunity or hear of something going on, hear of just something that is not in common knowledge. As I said, you've got your ear to the ground and the word on the street comes your way. It could even be friends this month revealing something to you or telling you something that you say, oh my God, I'm glad I discovered that. That is something now that's going to transform a situation for the better. I'm glad I found that out. So there's a feeling of that. So there's actually a lot going on for you, Scorpio. And of course, we'll dig deeper into that in the deep read in VIMEO. But for now, let's get stuck in to the general read here. And we go over to your, ta-da, your general overview, the big overview. So we begin with hope. Hope returning, positivity, optimism, wishes, but certainly looking more towards your future. We've got Saturn retrograding this month in Aquarius. This is an Aquarius card. And again, it's this feeling of going back through a family situation, through a household situation, home expenses, or some home issue or family issue. And you're looking at this and you're saying, I need to take a closer look at this. I need to see what went wrong here. I need to get a hold or get a handle on what's going on here. What did I miss the first time round? And so something, maybe it's an argument, a disagreement you have about a home issue, home finances, how children are raised, how family matters are dealt with. And you could be doubling back and saying, you know, all is not lost. Maybe I can have a look at this again where we can stop some arguments. Now that I've figured something out, or now that I see what I didn't see before, or now that I've heard something on the grapevine, the word on the street, it gives me hope that all is not lost. So that's for many of you. Hope is coming. Hope that all is not lost. You could figure out a way of getting on much better with certain family members. Certainly getting on better, but also with the work situation, I feel here, it's a thing of you being kind of like a little beacon of hope in the work situation. You're the one this month telling everyone, you know, just calm down, keep it together. Like, you know, with the crisis manager, you have it all under control. Scorpios actually thrive under crisis. They really do. I know you don't want it to be happening all the time in your life, but if there is a crisis, a Scorpio is the one to step in and say, right, shit has hit the fan, let's handle this. And while everybody's like, you're like, la, 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 we can handle this. So you are bringing a lot of optimism, hope, inspiration, and good vibes to people. and comfort, I feel, to a lot of people who are in total chaos, perhaps, in work. I certainly see you getting some level of command of a situation in work that does certainly feel like chaos, even if it is a financial thing or a waste of something that's happening. You're getting a handle over that. It's like a waste of time, a waste of energy, a waste of effort, and getting control. Now, this here is a Gemini card, and you've all the energy moving into Gemini, into the 8th house. It's like I am getting stronger. I want to adopt this attitude of being like the student. How do I handle my money, and how do I let go of a lot of these fears I had around money? Always feeling that I needed to have it so together. Always feeling that, you know, like a motto, just have this sense like a motto that you had. Nobody's going to take care of you in this life. You've got to take care of yourself, and kind of sticking with that. And maybe this month you might find, excuse me, Scorpio, that that's a little bit hard and a little bit harsh. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody should be responsible and adopt certain aspects of that. Take care of yourself. You know, you're a big grown person. You're a big boy. You're a big girl. You've got to take care of your money. But there's a feeling of, that's quite limiting to me now. I would love this. I would love to share the responsibilities that I have on my shoulders with other people. And I need to learn how to do that and grow in confidence in how to do that. If you see this guy here too, look at him, the poor thing. He's got all knives in his back. He's reached the limit. But as he's lying down, as the final knife has been put in, he's looking over at this beautiful golden horizon. Above him is dark. It's heavy. A lot of hard work. It's heavy. It's a pain. But over in that golden horizon, he's saying, there is something new. There is a new way to do this. There is a new place for me to go in my life financially. And as I said earlier, I'm going to be the student. How do I do this? And I don't care if I have to be a beginner. I'm full of energy, full of determination, full of will to, as I said, go and get these books about how to be financially free, do an online course, learn from these brilliant financial people who have it all figured out, download the books. And it's like, I can do this. I don't have to live in some financial fear or this constant fear of any minute now the rug will be pulled out from under me. Any minute now I won't have the money. Any minute now my job will stop. Any minute now the sales will run dry. Any minute now my clients will all leave me. There's something more. And you can get stuck into that this month. And I just certainly feel you are. It could actually be a sun, moon, or ascendant in Gemini or Aquarius at the start of the month who are maybe showing you ways how to do this. Maybe they are somebody who can teach you a little bit about this or enlighten you some way about how you can make this happen. Sun, moon, or ascendant, Gemini or Aquarius. But look at this beauty card here, this one. Mid-month, of course, the full moon in Scorpio. And there is this new union. For some of you on a very super literal level, there is the feeling of joining forces with your partner again, for those of you in a relationship, feeling the love again, feeling strong connections with each other again, feeling great, feeling like you're working together again, feeling like something has changed, something has happened. Something is bringing you close together. That's really nice. But there's still a bit of work to do here. There's still a bit of work. It's like, right, we feel we can do this. Let's judge this. Let's not be afraid of something. Let's not be afraid of tackling a situation. Let's not be afraid of calling something out. Let's not be afraid of that taboo subject. Let's talk about it. And it'll bring us closer together when we do. Okay, so that's very nice. For some of you, it could mean a new contract, a new union, new business union, new friends, or a whole transformation coming that's positive. Because you're finally seeing something that was hidden to you before, something that you didn't realize you had to make a judgment on before, but now it's revealed to you and you're like, right, I didn't see it before, but now that somebody has brought this news to me, I'm going to go in and judge this, fix this, and see how I can handle this better. I do feel a level of anger coming out there, a level of being quite pissed off that other people spotted something before you did. Why didn't I see this? Why didn't I notice this? A money situation, a work situation, something. A feeling of, why was I the last to know? Well, you weren't really the last to know. It's just that maybe one or two people knew before you, but you're still in the loop. You still got the word before other people. But that does seem to bother some of you. Excuse me. Why didn't I know this was happening? Why didn't I know? Why didn't I know there was an unexpected bill coming up? Why didn't I know? Why wasn't I prepared for this? Who kept this from me? Why did that happen? So, yeah. Strongly feel it's a lot to do with the work you're doing, because here we have a work card. You're working very hard, Scorpio. Very focused, very diligent. It could be in the work you're doing. It could be on a new project. It could be about getting your finances together, working on your health, whatever it is. You've got your head down and you're very satisfied with what you're giving. It's like, I'll give 100%. If somebody asks me to do something, I'll give it 100%. But it is something to do with your work that you're doing and money. This is a Sagittarius card, the South Node in Sagittarius, in your house, second house of money and self-esteem. It's almost like some of you waking up to the fact that a lot of your self-esteem had depended on the work that you're doing. A lot of your self-confidence was built on the salary that you were bringing in. And if that disappeared, God forbid, I'm not saying it will, but if it disappeared, then who would I be? What would I be? What is there? Do I have a plan B? Do I have a plan C? Would I ride through this? So I feel definitely mid-month, it's more like an awakening that's happening here. And a few of the signs are getting similar energies, because so much is kind of universal energy this month in that kind of way. But there's a feeling of, for you particularly, what if I didn't have the money? What if the work dried up? What if worst case scenario happened? Then would I've just been working diligently, conscientiously, giving 1,000%, for what? For the money? What's beyond that? What could I have been doing with all that energy? So there, I'm sticking with this because this is a very strong feeling. I've given so much to my work. I've given so much time. I've really devoted so much to it. If it disappeared in the morning, would they owe me anything? Would I get anything back? Would they repay me for the blood, sweat and tears that I've put into this? Would it all just dry up in the morning and then somebody else would replace me? And so there's this kind of thing going on. I do feel it, Scorpio. But again, it's not that that's going to happen. It's more like an epiphany where you say, I'm not wasting any more time. I'm a conscientious person. But I'm not going to sacrifice so much of myself without having some sort of financial plan for my future that guarantees that if the rug got pulled out from under me, that I'm totally fine with that. And that it's not such a huge issue in my life. That I would have other things going on. I'd be living by the sea. And I'd say, oh, okay. I'd be living abroad, I'd be studying, I'd have my master's degree, I'd have all my loans paid off, I'd be raising my family and being totally chilled, and I'd just say, oh, okay, the money is gone, okay, but I've a bunch of stuff backed up, stashed away, so it's not going to hurt me. It's not going to hurt me. Or if somebody says, oh, you've given so many years to this job, we've valued you, you've built it up, now goodbye. Who would you be? Do they actually owe you anything at the end of the day, after everything you've given? So what I feel again is this turnaround. It's not self-centeredness, Scorpio. It's not self-centered, excuse me, it's not a me thing, but it's a I'm a responsible adult. My needs must be met. I will give generously to other people my time and effort, but at the end of the day, I will work for other people, but ultimately, I've got to work to fulfill my needs, the needs of my family, the needs of my future family. This is really what the game is all about. I'm not selling my soul to anybody for the price of a salary. So a huge turnabout is coming around. I just strongly feel that. And I feel it's going to give you your freedom. That's going to give you the freedom that you've been looking for in the long term. And that's where your destiny is pointed towards. Now we're coming towards the end of the month. Somebody bringing you news. And again, it's unwelcome news. That thing coming up again here, Scorpio, of why was I the last to know? Why didn't I know this? It seems that it bothers you more that this was hidden from you rather than the actual thing itself. And you have to sit with this and say, they were supposed to be my friends. They were supposed to be my colleagues. This was supposed to be something I should have known about. Why didn't I know about this? Why was I the last to know? This has affected me somehow. They thought that I'd be okay with this. They thought that they didn't have to give me the full information about something, and I'd be fine with that. In some cases, you'd be so pissed off saying, did they think I was a fool? And maybe I was a fool because I bloody trusted that it would be all okay. So there's a lot of being pissed off here. Excuse me, Scorpio, being pissed off. And this at the end of the month really then starts to push this thing forward in you of, I've got to sit down. I've got to really think about this. I've really got to think about where I'm going in my life. Really. And I've got to give myself a greater level of freedom, not to be so focused on certain things, but to pull back a little bit and to start taking care of myself a bit better, my future a bit better, my needs, my desires, the things that matter to me. It's time for me to do that. And again, Scorpio, this is nothing to do with being selfish, but this is everything to do with the next step of your evolution, of your awakening, where you're expanding. It's not that you're limiting yourself and saying, I'm taking my energy out of that and reducing it back to me only. But instead, it's saying, this is the situation, but I'm going to expand my experience of this further. I'll keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm kind of growing in other ways too. So that it's not just all about that. It's not all about my work. It's not all about that project. It's not all about the money. It's not all about my family. It's not all about just something. There's more to me than that, much, much more to me than that. And it's my job as a responsible adult to fulfill the need in me to expand my life in that positive and powerful way. And as we leave the month, you are adopting a much stronger stance. There is this feeling here, a feeling of, I don't know what to do about a situation. It's almost like there's a thing that you could be discussing with somebody. It could be your partner for those in a relationship. It could be a business partner or a client or somebody else. There's a feeling of, what do I do about this? How do I handle this? I feel like I can't move forward and make a wise decision on something because I'm so shocked at how I didn't understand something. Again, we're still leaving the month feeling a bit shocked that you didn't quite know all the information about something. You didn't quite piece it all together before, and now you get it and you're saying, I was a fool. What was I wasting my time on this for? But we leave the month with you saying, I'm not ready to make a decision on this in May. Maybe in June you'll be more ready, but you are definitely taking a stronger position. You're taking control and command of a situation, and you're saying, okay, I can't decide this month as we leave the month, but in June, I'm definitely going to make some sort of a decision about this. I'm definitely making a decision, because now that I know this, and now that that has annoyed me, it has bugged me so much that I've been played a little bit. Now, it might not be that you've been played, Scorpio, but for me, it's like a personal thing. It's like I feel like, why didn't they tell me? You know, that kind of a way. Or why didn't I know? Why didn't I know about this before? Why was I labouring under a lie? Why was I going in one direction when everybody else was going in another direction? Why? Why did I do that? But as I said, you're stronger here, so much stronger. And you're getting a greater handle, a greater level of control over a situation. Confidence is building in you too, but I don't think the decision will be made until June, whatever this thing is that's going on. My last thought on this before I wrap it up is this feeling of, you know, like waking up and realizing that you were the only one playing fair. Waking up and realizing that you were the only one playing by the rules and suffering because of that. I'm wondering how everybody else was doing so well, or how everybody else was managing, how everyone else was getting ahead, how everybody else was doing something. And again, the thing that I feel is being revealed is like the games that people play and never got caught doing. And it's like you're wising up to this. And now I'm not saying that you'll then go on to play the games they're playing, but it's something that sticks in you. It's like it sticks here. And you say, I'm changing this, but I need time, I need a bit of thought, I need to consider this, and I need to look deeply into this to understand why I never considered my own needs before in the way that I need to start considering them now. Okay, so my love, I leave it at that. I will leave it at that. Now, you know, of course, these are just the general energies to get into the nitty-gritty, the details of your relationships, for the singles to see if there is love. And there could be, you never know, even in lockdown quarantine. I don't know what it's going to be like in May. Maybe we've a little bit more freedom in May, hopefully. But there could be love there. Money and career. Money, definitely money is an issue here. Home, family and friends, and everything else that we don't touch upon here, we'll go much deeper into it. Give it a bit of serious consideration in the deep read on Vimeo. So how do you get to it? Well, the same way as usual, Scorpio. Go into the link below, the description box below. You'll see the link. Click into it. Come on over. I'll meet you over there. We'll get stuck into it together. And in the meantime, if we're going to leave it at that, then, my love, have a wonderful month. Enjoy what's been revealed to you, because this could be a great awakening for you that leads you to better things. And of course, I'm going to leave you this month, my beautiful, as always, with all my love and a great, great, great big kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my darling. Bye.